A teenager in Ohio is accused of live streaming her friend's rape, and she's facing some serious charges as a result of that. Very disturbing story out of Ohio. Apparently, Marina Lonina is the person who was live streaming the rape on Periscope. Lomina and her friend were shopping at a mall in Columbus on February 26th when they met the alleged rapist, Raymond Boyd Gates. He allegedly bought them a bottle of vodka and suggested meeting at his home. The women were drinking at Gates's house the following day when he allegedly pinned the victim down and raped her. Both were indicted on multiple charges, including kidnapping, rape, sexual battery, and pandering sexual matter involving a minor. So her defense attorney is saying that the reason why she was live streaming it was to get evidence of what was occurring, which is an interesting defense, especially when you consider the fact that oftentimes when there are rape allegations, it's incredibly difficult to prove that a rape happened. So this evidence was important in prosecuting and hopefully eventually convicting the rapist. But at the same time, what actually happened? Did she really do it for that reason? The prosecutors are saying that in the video, which of course no one has access to because it's the rape of a minor, she's giggling and she's laughing. If that's really the case, well, then of course that's questionable to say the least. Both of them, the rapist and the friend, are facing 20 years in prison for this.
So when I first heard the story, I immediately thought, well, maybe she's doing it to get the evidence. So, legitimate possibility. The more I read the details, the more I became convinced that I'm not sure that that's the case.
Yeah.
Okay. So, number one, why wouldn't you call 911 first? So, she didn't call the cops.
Jeez.
She periscoped it for 10 minutes. Still no calling of the cops, right? Okay. Second of all, if you think about it for a second, if you wanted it for evidence, why are you broadcasting it to the world? Why wouldn't you just record it on your phone and give it to the cops later? Maybe you can go to, well, what if the rapist grabbed me and the phone and got rid of the evidence, at least if it's broadcast? But you're really stretching here because he's not pinning you down. You could run away. You could call the cops. You could record it on your phone without broadcasting it. I mean, at a bare minimum, broadcasting it to the world was enormously bad judgment.
It was. Look, there's another twist to it. The reason why police responded is because the live stream led to some of her friends calling 911. So I'm sure that'll be part of the defense, but you're right. There were many other ways to deal with it, and the length of the video is what just makes me nauseous. 10 minutes is a long, long time. I don't know. I just can't imagine sitting there and watching something like that, especially when it's your friend getting raped.
No attempt to intervene. You don't have to intervene. That's not a requirement. But to stop it by calling the cops, by running outside, getting help, it just seems weird. So, look, they'll have a lot more evidence in the courtroom, and they'll decide, should she, by the way, face the same or at least similar charges as the rapist? Well, that's an open question, and again, the jury will have to decide that. That's pretty heavy. The fact pattern says that the two girls were friends, but it almost seems like the guy and the girl who was taping were somehow acting in concert. But I don't know that, but obviously the charges are very, very serious against her, so obviously the prosecutors think that she did something quite deplorable, that they got to bring full charges against her. So we'll see how it gets sorted out. But right now, it doesn't look good for her. And even if you believe everything she says, which I've already told you I'm skeptical about, boy, that was not the right way to help your friend. There was a lot of other ways you should have gone to try to stop that as it continued on and on and on. So, just disaster all around here.